What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the VESL 2024 fall season. Here for the CMS region once again, my name is Proper. Joined with me, as always, will be Trey for the entirety of it. And today, we have some Super Smash Brothers Ultimate action coming your way. But cleaning every single corner of the room first and foremost, Trey, how the heck you doing today, bud?
Doing pretty good. I'm ready to get really confused by some Super Smash Brothers.
I'm ready to be side by side with that as well. It's going to be a spectacle for certainty. We're going to have this camera on full time, but you guys, of course, will be watching the matches. I will be watching his face. Simply marvel in all of the action. We had Overwatch being played as well as college football. Really good competition being played at least through the early get-go of week one. And the continuation of that will also be the same. But we always want to make sure that you all are leveling up your game as much as possible. And we do have some tools at your disposal as well. We are currently partnering with some pro coaches for you all that are currently making some content for you all to digest to up your game. Here's a quick little video snippet of what you are in store for.
We've hired 4 pro esports coaches to train you in 4 different game titles for free. We're bringing you exclusive world-class advice from the best players in the world. Learn from pro Overwatch player Jake, known for his versatility across multiple heroes and consistent top-tier performance. Or refine your Smash Bros. Knowledge with DeBuzz, renowned for his consistent tournament success and high-profile victories. Cover strategy with 11-time Madden champion Dreeny, one of the youngest and most dominant competitors in the Madden esports scene. Need help locking down your aerials? Try Rising Star Chief Beef's course on competitive Rocket League. Whether you're a filthy casual or a seasoned tryhard, get 8 straight weeks of exclusive expert game knowledge crafted for you every Friday, with the first videos dropping October 11th. That's 32 total videos covering everything you need to know about your favorite games, from fundamentals to high-level strategy. You'll learn positioning and teamwork, defensive and offensive strategy, practice routines, game sense, communication, mental and emotional resilience, all the way down to analyzing meta and adapting to change. Everyone has something to learn and enjoy, and these courses are completely free. So what are you waiting for? Go to thenotwork.org/register to sign up and get access to these courses every Friday. We've hired 4...
I'm not gonna lie, that's flippin' sick. Like, just the idea alone of being able to get the insight of the game that you're competing in from some of the best to ever do it, it just has to be so insightful.
Yeah, I can't imagine growing up. I was a big COD player, so I couldn't imagine like having access to a Scump video, you know, when I was at a high school league. Like, that would have been so sick.
Absolutely. I mean, you never know. You might be able to digest all of this, up your game, and then you might be one of these world champions as well. The content is coming out weekly, so you want to make sure that you're going to the Notwork platform and, of course, partnering with your esports mentor along in your Discord. All of those are available weekly. But we have Super Smash Bros. On the horizon for you all. Again, a big hit as far as the spring season was concerned back in 2024, just a few months prior. A lot of competition being played across the entirety of the state. It used to be kind of a close to a crew battle-esque, where you could substitute a couple of your players out for different teammates as the series went along. We are now playing 1v1s, and you will be playing a best of 3 against 2 different schools per night. It gets a little bit confusing, trust me, but the rulebook has everything that you need to know. But Super Smash Bros. Within its own self, it should be a spectacle to be able to see how much competition that this state does have.
For sure, and I know it was one of the games that seemed to have a lot of the hype coming into the season. You know, I'd say as participation numbers goes, it's like way beyond all of our others. So we were doing everything we could to get as many teams as we could and work for a format to get everybody as many matches as possible. So.
And that's surely going to be coming your way very, very soon. We do have our opening series ready for you all at home. It's going to be Phillip O'Barry going up against Collaborative College to start things off. Again, this is a single best of 3 that is being played within its own best of 3. We play with stocks. Those are essentially your lives. You'll see here in a very short time underneath the characters' portraits that they've displayed for themselves. Will have their 3 lives. You do lose those 3 lives. You go on to a next stage. Each stage will end up being predetermined just to get rid of the stage striking process. Can be a little bit timely and a little bit confusing if some are starting off. We're going to be starting off on Battlefield to start for this best of 3. Pokemon Stadium 2 will be the stage number 2 for game 2, and then if it goes all the way for that 3rd stage, it will be on Final Destination. Pretty standardized as it comes, and those are, of course, always rotating every single week. So you get a little bit of familiarity and you get a little bit of diversity as well.
So is there a big advantage, big disadvantage to the types of stages, or, you know, it's kind of like, I guess, maybe personal? Each player maybe is better at a certain stage, or
Yeah, it's always character dependent. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If you're the first time seeing it, I remember your first time seeing me and Eli playing Super Smash Brothers in the office. it's intimidating because you got like 70 different characters, so like the matchups are endless. I'm not going to do that quick math for you. All I can tell you is that it's pretty horrendous to think about. But yes, stages are very indicative on a character's success rate. Having that platform right above you take the opening stage of Battlefield is very, very good to be able to land on top of and then chase somebody as they're off the screen to be able to confirm a stock, get an elimination. Having a platform, say, on Pokemon Stadium 2, which is a little bit lower than Battlefield, allows certain aerials like sorties, like a Marth or a Lucina, to be able to up tilt and connect with you as you think that you're safe. Also gives you an escape route when you're trying to get back to the stage, or Final Destination, where there's nothing. It's just a flat ground, which is why it's so poetic making it the final stage, because it's the true 1v1 map. There's really no advantages whatsoever, but certain characters do benefit from not having the platforms for others to escape from. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's sounds like a little bit over my head, but
yeah. Oh, there's a lot to this game. I promise you all at home that it will be a learning process for everybody that is involved. But there is going to be so much that you're able to learn. I mean, having DeBuzz as your pro coach as well. Guy's won world championships. He's been doing it for a very long time on characters that don't necessarily make all the sense on Rosalina and Luna, and of course the Olimar. So yeah, definitely want to be able to see what that's all about, so that way we can all learn and grow together. POB versus Collaborative College should be coming our way very, very shortly. Not too sure where that one is at, but I digress. I'm just very excited to be able to see these two schools go up against each other. And here we go. We will get Phillip O'Berry Academy going up against Collaborative College. A Pit versus a Cloud. A little bit of an anime matchup on our screen.
Pit versus Cloud. So what's the Pip is left, Cloud is right.
Right? On the screen currently. It's the one with the wings.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I would say one's a little bit more meta, I suppose, but very difficult to be able to truly say what's a meta character or not. But Cloud does have like a very interesting limit break, barely able to get back into the stage. Probably gotcha game it, Phillip O'Berry.
So pretty much all characters, they have the ability to kind of like shoot up like that from the very bottom.
All the recoveries are different. There are hardly any characters outside of the Dittos that are very different. We do have some similar characters, but the ones on our screens right here, like there's only one other character that's similar to Pit, and that'd be Dark Pit. You know, very creative. The Cloud is a character that will sell itself with a limited gauge right above his head. You see the character right below on the screen. As it becomes completed up to 122%, being able to confirm that first stock. Yeah, every character is very, very different. Some are better in certain situations, especially recovery.
So this is the basest of the base, but I'm a complete total noob here. So the meter goes up. It's not health, or it is health?
It's percentage. So the higher the percentage, you see as it gets more and more red as you progress, it needs more knockback. You'll also see a certain steam kind of emit off of the character's sprite. That also means range. All of that gets heightened with the more damage percentage that you take, which naturally is justified off of the hit from the character that gave you that percentage.
So it's 2-2 currently still.
But then the advantage still goes to probably Cloud, but the biggest issue about this character in general is that the recovery is pretty buns. I mean, like, once you lose your jump, your recovery becomes pretty linear. So I do love this adjustment coming up from Gotcha Game, and Phillip O'Berry will be able to take that lead, but an up smash immediately confirms it. Just about a dead even game here, but this Cloud desperately needs to try to stay on the stage to be able to avoid any complications that we saw in the second stock.
So I do see like a little dome here as well, and I'm assuming that's some kind of block, right?
Yeah, every character has its shield, which slowly closes over time, but it also closes even faster by taking damage. So you can't really hold on to it for too long. And there's also a certain mechanic that I'm sure we'll see in one of these best of threes called the Berry Technique, as the electroshock will actually come through, and Phillip O'Berry are actually going to take the first game over Collaborative College.
Can't help but feel sorry
Interesting
for
within
you.
itself to just think about, considering how this Cloud from Collaborative College did initially hold the lead. So we'll have to see if this Cloud's going to be able to bounce back here, as Phillip O'Berry now have a 1-0 lead.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so I think that I know I hear a lot of people talk about frames and whatnot when we're playing Smash, and you were mentioning the little block technique. I'm assuming it's more used for. More used for like a parry, like you were saying, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's why like you'll see like especially in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, why they keep running up and just holding the shield, or just running up in trying to at least exploit shield poke in general, so that way you can try to get that parry, because your options become that much better out of the parry. You essentially push that character into a state where they can't necessarily react unless it's a certain character and a certain move. So a parry is going to be your best option to be able to create an opening versus a character that spams you a lot, say like any Brawl character or any sort of character, as you saw from Cloud. As like Gotcha Gaming for Phillip O'Berry was able to adjust. Cloud also has a certain technique very similar to like a counter in a way, but you saw like the shields like being a mint. It's a down special. I don't really remember the name off the top of my head, but regardless, like it puts you in a state where you're essentially blocking for free. There's no negativity until like your shield gets broken, and from all the spam that was being thrown from Collaborative College's Cloud, just immediately faltered underneath all the spam that they were trying to give. But, you know, that more character matchup than it is anything. Just being able to play from that shield poke that you were asking about is very, very important as well. Game 2 should be prepared and ready for us as well. Both players are back inside the lobby, ready to get underway. Don't see any character swaps whatsoever. Why would you when the game was so close?
Let's see if it keeps going that way.
So over to Pokemon Stadium 2, and again, it may seem so similar as far as like what you're looking at for the stages. No top middle platform comparatively to the battlefield that we just saw, and the two raising platforms on the side are suggestively lower. That's more, I guess, prudent to the Cloud player. The up tilt will be able to reach all the way through as Limit Break just about prepared. Phillip O'Berry, though, doing a great job of just controlling the center of the stage.
So I'm going to get a little nerdy here. Is it like Star Wars? Do you need the high ground? Does high ground help? High ground bad?
High ground is pretty helpful, but there's also characters that exploit just being underneath you. One of the hardest parts about Super Smash Bros. In general is just being able to land, let alone trying to get back to the stage.
The recovery,
as you saw right there, the linear recovery, trying to go too low. Down air from Gotcha Gaming will confirm that first stock, and back to square one. Just trying to get back into that neutral as the Cloud is taking a lot of damage. But a forward smash, charge all the way up, good SDI from Gotcha Gaming, stay able to stay alive.
So when they get sort of yeeted like that, is that that's not a specific move or anything, right? Is it just they lose so much health or something and then they get yeeted?
So it depends on where they are. So like you can survive. Like with Gotcha Gaming, the way he survived when he was pushed all the way to the top left of the screen was because he SDI'd in a certain direction against where he was being shoved away from. But with the lightning would suggest that he has enough damage that that move should kill, just like that lightning right there.
Okay.
Certain situations where you see that lightning that came out from Cloud's sword once he attacked Gotcha Gaming, you can survive certain instances like that. But at 134%, let alone right there past 120%, a down smash at the ledge will confirm the elimination. Gotcha Gaming with a full stock lead.
Very nice.
This is looking like a split 2-0. I mean, this pit is just moving around too fast. There's terms of like pressing buttons, but there's also terms called pressing all the right buttons. And Gotcha Gaming is currently pressing all the right buttons, a little off stage, but able to get it right back off that dash.
So they can go completely off screen as well?
Oh, yeah.
On the bottom?
So you have like the stage, the camera presence of the stage, and then you have the blast zones, which is the difference in between the two, or the multitude of stages that we have. It's not just the platforms, but also the blast zone areas where like your character actually does get eliminated. As Gotcha Gaming able to exploit once again, just a down B, a hard counter, Cloud struggling to land, and it's almost a full JV3 stock in game number 2. Phillip O'Berry going to take a very good lead here as far as their series is concerned. So a 1-0 lead. We'll be able to give you a full update, concluding our Super Smash Brothers broadcast, to be able to tell you where Phillip O'Berry do conclude their week number 1. But I mean, starting off strong with a commanding 2-0 win. Yeah,
it looks like they had everything together. Maybe it was a little bit of a warm-up phase there at the beginning. They pretty close match, but then it looked like they sort of pulled away in their second match there.
Yeah, again, I mean, sometimes it just doesn't matter if you're playing a meta character. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you're playing the best character in the world. Sometimes a player is just better than you. And I think that's what you got to see halfway through that game number 1 from Phillip O'Berry, specifically for Gotcha Gaming's pit. So we're going to step away very, very briefly, but when we come back, we will have a second Super Smash Brothers matchup for you all. It will be Palisades going up against Kata. So you don't want to miss that one. Two very starving competitors trying to start off their week strong. We'll be right back. on, everybody, and welcome back to the 2024 fall season. We are back again. My name is Proper. Joined with me is Trey, and we just concluded POB versus Collaborative College, a very decisive 2-0 victory.
Yeah, very much so. And looking forward to this upcoming match with Palisades. Seems like we're watching a little series here, and I've got my lone team, Palisades, going up against your two here. So.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit of a disgruntlement kind of happening in between the two RDs for the CMS region, of course, overwatching everything that is happening amidst all the competition. We are going in with a blind eye, and obviously stakes couldn't be higher. I mean, obviously it would be nice to be able to see Palisades, again, a very decorative school throughout the entirety of VESL. Same can be said for Kata. Very interested to be able to see Sun Valley, a late addition for us here in the fall season, and what they do have to offer. They were very hungry for the competition, but this is what it is going to be, just flat out. As I was saying at the top of the show, everything is going to be 2 best-of-3. So we do have 3 total teams in one lobby in an ABC rotation. Obviously, Team 1 will start off facing Team 2, home and away team, and then you have the neutral team waiting idly to then compete against the winner of that match. They do a rotation. Essentially, everybody plays each other at least once.
Yeah, with the winner of the first match taking a little bit of an advantage, being able to stay hot, and then the loser going down and having to maybe get a little cold. But the matches are so quick, probably not that big of a deal for them.
Yeah. It's Super Smash Brothers at the end of the day, and it mostly comes down to, did you warm up? Did you play against some bots prior? Were you playing and trying to raise your global Smash ranking as well? I've been addicted to that personally as of late after getting annihilated by the other RD in a very separate region named Eli. So it's one of those things that I just got to be able to come in and have your best foot forward as we are prepared to start off with Palisades versus Kata A. The series should be underway here very, very shortly. And without further ado, let's go ahead and check this out. And a Rob versus a Jigglypuff. I mean, this is just a very awesome matchup within itself, but interesting.
I recognize these guys for once. It's so funny to me seeing all the weird characters that end up in Smash Brothers. And Jigglypuff, I hear the name a lot when people are playing, and apparently he's a pretty good character.
Yeah, Jigglypuff, I mean, not a top tier, but a very annoying character, especially for a big, heavy body that is Rob, which has their own self the nair to get back to the stage, the side B, laser beam as well, and then just the forward air to keep Jigglypuff at bay, which to your credit, yes, it is a very good character. If you can string along with the back airs and all the aerials floating around your adversary, it is very annoying to deal with. But Rob does have a considerable amount of tools to make the transport.
No singing, putting people to sleep by Jigglypuff?
Oh, you can absolutely still do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hitbox and the wind-up is about 3 frames too long, comparatively to what it was back in Melee, so it's not as effective, which I know I just nerfed the heck out very, very quickly, but essentially it starts up a little bit too slow to try to take an egregious advantage of, that you have to save it for what we call as big side, fighting game.
So I'm noticing a lot of mid fighting, it seems here. Is there like a key to that, or character base?
And that's where Jigglypuff can exploit a lot of things. You see, Jigglypuff, the character, does have about 7 different jumps as Kata will return back and just trade back to the stocks, back to an even game to go to more stocks remaining. But yes, there is a lot of ledge guarding, ledge trapping that is all involved as far as Super Smash Bros. is concerned. You're always trying to fight over that invincibility of just grabbing the ledge in general and just trying to not only make it back to the stage in general, but trying to make your adversary not make it back to the stage.
I do kind of see, you said something about Rob being heavy. I can kind of see that. Is that like an actual mechanic?
Yeah, there's about 3 to almost 4 different weights in Super Smash Brothers, where Puff is a little bit more of, I would say, on the lighter side, probably in between medium and light. Rob is closer to heavy, but in between medium and heavy. Then you have characters like Bowser, King Rule, those are super heavy. Same thing for Incineroar. You have super light characters like Pikachu, or Pichu, especially. Up air, not going to be enough to get the second stock away from Kata's Jigglypuff, because the Nair does not connect, trying to get back to the stage. A little bit of a top to cover the low, and then the grab up throw will confirm the stock. So Crown coming through for Palisades, which, by the way, is a name that was competing all throughout last year. Off the top of my head, I do not know where they did finish, but definitely a decorative character, definitely a decorative player, as well as you can see as we string together from coast to coast. We'll get 49% quickly on the front side.
So is the strat here for the Crown to maybe control a little bit of the middle, since they do have that heavier character, or
So I'll be honest with you, I don't think it matters for Rob.
Really?
I mean, yeah, Rob is busted.
Oh,
Rob-
really?
Yeah, Rob's got so many options that, like, you can play on the ledge, you can play in the center of the stage, and you can just trade all over the place because you are heavy. Pretty much, if you're existing, you're having a good time with Rob. Lots of tools just to get yourself back in, but good spacing coming through from Cata Esports. Just trying to chase down low, all the way up top, burning all the recovery. Still able to react. Still some more of the jetpack available, and finally touches back to the ground. It's a little bit of a mix-up. 121%. Top forward, 2 forward airs. Just trying to keep the puff off of the stage. But you can see, I mean, like, Ground doesn't want to overextend off the stage. Doesn't want to challenge that being such a high percentage. Just trying to make it super annoying for Jigglypuff and Cata Esports to try to take each stock in there. It finally goes, but 89% advantage is no laughing feat.
Having a jetpack almost seems a little bit unfair there.
Yeah, especially versus like a giant beach ball that floats 7 times in a row, but the side beat finally comes out. I was wondering when we were going to see that. See that within its own self is one of the more broken things. It's got super armor to start, so you have to hit it with like a multi-hit to stop it from happening. That's one thing. But it also kills very, very early, as I was saying earlier. Like Jigglypuff is a very lighter character, so because that happened off of the stage itself, dead almost instantly.
Just flying,
yeah. I mean, the jetpack, it's you're not wrong. Like, it does seem unfair when you are playing against it, especially when you saw from Crowned, from Palisades, just exploiting the aerials as well. It's just the amount of space that Rob can consume is egregious within its own self.
Yeah, that was insane to see. Like I said, don't see a lot of the characters, but I hadn't seen them do that before. So.
Yeah. Yep. Rob's a funny character. I'll say that much. Not exactly one of my favorite matchups. I think I would rather face against the Jigglypuff, but that's tomatoes and tomatoes. So it's a 1-0 lead, at least for Palisades in this early matchup versus Cata A, as the second stage is ready to be played again, starting off on Battlefield, moving over towards Pokemon Stadium 2, and Crown with the Yo is saying, I am going to change character to Sheik. Literally just 2-stocked you, but I'm going to switch my character.
Just ready to flex.
I guess. I mean, this right here, I mean, like, if you've been watching Super Smash Bros. For a long time, is a historic matchup. This is Super Smash Bros. Melee within its own self, but very different game, very different characters as they do play now in a modern era. Sheik is a glass cannon, lighter on the lighter side. We had a conversation earlier, but has a lot of moves that can kill you. But the time it takes to accrue that damage, you have to hit your opponent a lot of times. Like, we're up to about like 12 different hits that Crown was able to connect on the Cata Esports, and only up to 60%. Still a dead even game.
So, talk to me a little bit about, I know I hear a lot about frames when I hear people talking about Smash. Is that just for the parry thing that we were talking about earlier? Is that, it's everything?
It's everything. Every single move, like that pout that came through for Cata Esports and the Jigglypuff, has a startup, and that frame data itself allows you to either throw out a faster option as the opponent, or just wait for the hurt box, which is the extension of the move, to end, so that way you can react accordingly to it. But yeah, all the frame data is all over the place, like grab, jabs, whatever your faster 2 options are compared to like these longer wind-up ones, like the side B coming out of the crown. All of it just has like its own data within its own self. It's spreadsheets on top of spreadsheets.
Usually I like spreadsheets a lot, so maybe you'll have to show me those later so I can actually understand it.
It's quite a bit. There are tons of more and more spreadsheets I know that are being made as the matchups are forever changing. And they're still working on this game collectively. Don't even know if they're going to be adding any more characters. This stock has lasted a long time. I mean, we are now 2 minutes into the entirety of the game, and no stocks have been taken. 150% now up for the Puff, and a little bit of a stray, I believe it was a back air. We'll finally get the elimination on the Crown Pound to get back to the stage safely. As Crown's getting a little bit desperate, just throwing out up smashes. There's the back air to finally come through dead each game once again.
So when you have so much damage or whatever it was like that, is the strat to kind of just give up? Or are you just trying to pick up as much percentage as you can on the other character?
You're trying to make it as big as a bonus, right? Like, if I take the first stock off of somebody, like, you still want to play smart because that stock can end very, very quickly, but, like, you want to try to, if you can take the next stock, great, but, like, if you can walk away with a certain percentage advantage going back into a 2-stock game, you're definitely going to be sitting very, very pretty as just Crown coming right back to it. Was able to put up a very quick 60% and then has made this Puff's life a living hell. Just trying to at least get back towards the stage, but finally resets. think twice about it. Nice little mix-up coming through off the back air for Crown. The dolphin kick will not land. Forward air is going to send Puff back out. They're just trying to jostle for position back on the center stage, just trading blow after blow, and it's just, we could be here for a while. These two characters do struggle to kill each other, but they're so funny.
You said this is a classic matchup. Is this because they're really close, like they counter each other well?
No, it's just the history that they have. These are two characters that have been Super Smash Brothers for a long time. Jigglypuff was added in Nintendo 64, and then Sheik was one of the same character, Princess Zelda. Used to be the down special that between the two different characters. They were added in Super Smash Bros. Melee, so we've had this matchup across a multitude of titles for so many years, and they're both peak and very meta characters in Super Smash Bros. Melee at this very moment in time. And so we have final stock versus each other. Again, Kata trying to take advantage off the character swap that Crown egregiously threw their way. Might just wanted to play a little bit more Smash for 67% in. Crown staring down the barrel, potentially losing this game, and thus going towards that final destination for game number 3. Biggerly gets back towards the stage, Fair's connecting, and then an up tilt soon to follow. Now here comes the up air chains. Can't find the follow-up as Kata will get back down towards the stage, but that's the hardest part, trying to get back in towards a neutral agreement versus a Sheik. Back air doesn't connect, forward tilt again, and this is, again, just trading blows after blows. Just trying to find that killing blow.
Yeah, this just looks like it's going back and forth here. 97-97, that's crazy. They both decided to turn it up. Oh!
You gotta be careful of the up B coming through. It does have an active hitbox, which again, if while that explosion is happening, you can't go near that. If you do, it'll still connect with you, and you'll still get hit as what you just saw right there. And then it has a follow-up lasting hitbox once you actually get to the ledge where a second explosion happens. It's a very tricky thing, but off stage like that, again, Jigglypuff being as light as that character is, barely getting touch over 100%. Right towards the blast zone. No SDI is going to save you from that. So I thought that was going to that final destination. I thought that Jigglypuff for Caddy Esports had what it took to at least force the honesty out from Palisades off of the Sheik swap.
Yeah, my guys at Palisades had to turn it up and come through there real quick, I guess. And it was just by a little sliver, it looked like, too. Just barely got behind him to be able to boost him off.
So whether Sun Valley is aware or not, they were looking to at least get that trade, at least from me. I mean, they're still competing against each other, but as far as this house is concerned, I am currently down 0-1. And same could be said at least for Caddy Esports. Their A team are starting off 0-1, but they will have a chance to be playing up against Sun Valley. That will be happening later, but to our points here, Palisades being able to win that series, they will stay in the arena. We go back to Battlefield, and now they're going to be going up against Sun Valley in another best of 3, which I assume that Crown for Palisades is probably still going to be playing. That's how we do have it all set up. But I'm interested to see what Sun Valley has to offer.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he keeps cycling through characters. I'd like to see a character rotation here so I can start learning some of these guys. But, yeah, let's see how this goes.
All right. Well, without further ado, Sun Valley going up against Palisades. Battlefield to start things off, and it's going to be the Sheik coming out from Crown. Definitely enjoying it. Again, Glass Cannon, but one of the more enjoyable characters once you do get it online. Going up against Sun Valley B, and Afton is playing Isabel.
This is Animal Crossing, yeah.
My man.
I know something.
Yes. I pay this
With
dog
a
my
net.
rent on the day.
This is your landlord right now?
That's my landlord. I live on an island. You have no understanding. When I wake up and I don't get the news from Isabel, I feel like Tom Doug's on vacation. I cannot lie. But the Isabel pig is definitely an interesting one. Not a meta pick, but an annoying one to say the least. Does have good aerials. Very difficult to try to get eliminations, but a tricky character, I will say that much. Mostly with that fish.
Yeah, landlords are pretty annoying, I get you.
Like the one family that's pretty watching is like that owns like 3 different properties in Charlotte. It's like, what are you not annoying?
In-game. We're talking in-game.
Yeah, of course. As it seems that Crown would agree. Dolphin kick was true there off of the connection prior. We'll claim that first stock versus Afton that is just trying to run up and up, smash the invincibility from starting off that second stock will end as Palisades will take a very early lead, but could be taken away from them very quickly.
So what's typically kind of like a good head start on the stock? Like he's at 20 now. Is that like overwhelming? Is that not too bad?
So she
Well, this is
typically
getting there.
kill until about 60%, but as you see, that is getting very, very close, but the dare comes through, and that'll send you straight in towards the abyss, as Crown was stuck in trying to connect with those up airs, got exploited by not having a jump. Don't even think they would have made it back with the recovery as Afton trying to diminish that lead that Crown was able to find for themselves. So dead even game. I mean, just 20% in between the two of them, trying to at least cover the ledge, not looking to chow, but these bears are just keeping Crown at an arrow's notice as the little tomahawk will come through the ground. Again, very tricky is Afton on this Isabel pick, and that's what you do need. Like, Crown's going to want to run you down. You have to use everything in your pockets of tricks if you are an Isabel.
So I guess it doesn't look like that 50% advantage really was that much of a factor here. Looks like they're pretty close to even, so.
Yeah, it seems like once it does settle, about 20% seems to be the difference. But this is the sweet spot. One good smash attack at ledge could be the elimination, or just the same way that Crown was able to get that final elimination versus Cata Esports not even a few moments ago. Just up B off of the stage will send your opponent immediately towards the blast zone. Isabel's about a medium mission, weight closer on the lighter side of a character, so that'll confirm that elimination very quickly, 91%. And this is a really good place to be if you are a Sheik player. Just the right amount of rage. You're not sending Isabel too far away from these combos. They put 45%, just comboing everything, turning Isabel into a can of muck, but finally able to reset back towards the center stage. Crown, able to get back. The up B will confirm it. Back air off the stage. And then the dolphin kick off of the shurikens. Are you kidding me? No way. This kid's nasty.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know anything about this, but he went literally from the one side of the map to the other side of the map, just running them down right there. Jeez.
And the thing that's so respectable, and I remember saying this last season during the spring when I was casting over CMS, is that like Crown clearly has an understanding of the game, all of that frame data. The reason why the short hop into the throwables into the dolphin kick, the reason why that works is because the frame data would be suggestive that the shurikens kept Isabel stuck in place, and then enough spacing was provided for the dolphin kick, the side B to come all the way through, and then immediately center it in the blast zone. Like Crown just understands that, and that's so typical for me, somebody that's been playing Super Smash Bros. Since like 1998, just to be able to see a high schooler just being able to do that.
Yeah, I would not be able to even sniff anywhere near doing anything like that. That was insane.
Yeah,
that was intense to see,
quick
though.
1-0 lead coming through for Palisades again, but I mean, when you're playing like that, I can't necessarily say I'm surprised. So Afton's going to stay on the Isabel as we go into PS2.
3, 2, 1.
I wonder what he's going to switch up.
I mean, if I'm Crown, I'm just going to continue running it. And this is something about like the Buzz's videos as well. It's something that the Buzz went into, is that just have characters that you spawn up against them, essentially know what they're going to do. Sheik's entire game plan is running you down, throwing out all these aerials that you're seeing right here. Great combo coming from the Crown. And Afton on the other side, being Isabel, needs to be cheeky. It is more of a spacey character, using their tools to try to deny Crown the space that is just running this poor landlord down.
Blows again. So is that similar to the jetpack? Do all the characters have something similar to that?
Yeah,
Okay.
they all have like a recovery thing, right? Some characters give you a lot more vertical access than others. Sheik can control, that's that explosion that you saw that got that stock back in stock number 2, game number 1. That's Sheik's recovery. Isabel is swinging past 2 balloons. That are one of my favorites. But it's one of those things that every single character is very different. Yoshi, for example, has not the greatest recovery. It's mostly all in their second jump, but their up recoveries are upbeat since about a character height. So very, very different from character to character. We'll have you knowing all 70 matchups by the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Believe me, do that. So
I will be a grandmaster.
I'm gonna get this guy playing ranked Smash at home.
I'm going to get all the information, and I'm never going to play a game, and then I'm going to know everything in the first game I play. I'm just going to be goated.
Yeah, that first Smash tournament, Trey's gonna show up and just like sitting in the crowd, just telling everything, all the frame data and everything. Nice up air coming through from Crown. Gonna finally get this first stock, and that's what I'm talking about. Like that fall up B, immediately snap to ledge. Like that is so rehearsed out of Crown, and it's very true for elimination. So you have to be worried about that if you are Afton on this Isabel, who is just trying to set up some traps. trying to keep Crown from getting back in towards a neutral position, but Crown being on that cheek, able to get some jumps back through, up air, forward air nair, excuse me. We send Afton back towards the ledge, who is just struggling to find into Crown's cheek right now. Who's on that goal?
So we talked a little bit about moves. Does each character have about the same amount of moves? Is it kind of like they do the similar things, I assume, with the similar button combinations?
There's only a few characters that have one less move, and that's because they have like a transformation. Pokemon, for example, swapping in between all of the Pokemon is their down B. Same thing for the Aegis, Pyramithra, because it's 2 characters within one. Their down B will switch in between characters. Very much so how Sheik also used to do that back in Melee, and we'll round up to 173%. Still alive, and will just immediately just dare to try to get back towards the ledge. Kept their jump, still alive. Afton up to 70, now 84%. Full rage for Crown on this sheet. Just dip, diving, dodging. The chase up top with the bear will bring Afton down to their final stock.
That's tough. Is there... Oh.
That'll do. That'll do. So the fun thing just about that totem trap that Isabel does have in the character, you can activate that yourself, or it gets activated when you're near the area you saw right there. So Afton certainly down, but might not be out. Give a little string of up airs, but Crown being a stock lead, just gonna immediately dare back down towards the stage. Questionable recovery, but able to ledge hop their way back. As Afton's just now spamming the up smash, and it's a viable strategy. Able to at least bring Crown up to 78%, but having to use the balloons. You can pop those, by the way, and Isabel will fall, but if they are close enough to the ledge, you can snap back. Just something to keep in mind as well, that those balloons are cute, but definitely volatile.
So he could have shuriken there and got them.
Yeah, he could have. He could have. But like Isabel was close enough to get it back to the ledge. But right there, that wasn't even true. That was just one of those things that I feel like the Isabel player was maybe not thinking about where they were SDIing. There's certain options, like when you get hit from that previous move that just happened, if you're holding out like the Isabel player was, you're put in that perfect position that you saw from Crown, just sprint up and just dolphin kick. You're in the most perfect position to that. Comparatively, that if you're DIing in, that doesn't give that option, which is you're still going to get hit, but you're not going to be dead. So
Gotcha.
It's just more of like a game knowledge thing than it is anything. And again, I'm just more singing the praises of the Sheik player, man, because which I know that I'm going against myself saying that I'm supposed to be taking down Palisades because you are the RD for that school, and both of mine did just lose to them. So Palisades will start 2-0, but it's just very refreshing to be able to see a high schooler playing very, very high-level Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it does seem like that maybe is his character of choice there with the Sheik play. I don't know what the first match was. You said what character was that? Rob, yeah. So
I'd rather see the Sheik, but if you're in tournament, I'd probably still play the Rob. It's a safer option, but more exploitable.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's good at both of them. Maybe he's keeping that in the back pocket there to pull out later when he gets the States if he gets it.
And that's one of those things too. Like the Buzz said, like if you're just starting, like pick one character and stick to it. But like as you like continue to play Super Smash Brothers, you will start picking up other characters, and other characters are better for other matchups. Obviously, all that data will be suggestive going in towards a certain matchup, but sometimes you're just more comfortable playing a certain character. I don't know. It's all food for thought, but having a bigger bag of tricks for characters for matchups can be very good or very, very bad, obviously, depending on the situation and the player. But that will do it for Palisades, at least today. So they'll start off 2-0. We will see them compete again in week number 2. Don't really know if they're going to be substituting out Crown, as he seems to be getting all of that plus a bag of chips. So we will now be moving over towards the last 2 teams left in this best of 3, or for a best of 3, excuse me, out of the 3. Lots of 3s. Kata will be going up against Sun Valley, so we will be seeing Kata come back on the Jigglypuff, and then Sun Valley will be coming back for that Isabel. So the way it does work, both of them started off 0-1. Both of them lost to Palisades, but now both of them have an opportunity to start 1-1.
Yep, and we'll see here. Was it Sun Valley just played last? Yeah, she was on the Isabella. So these are both light characters, correct?
Light, yeah, I would say that much. And they're very, very floaty, but one's recovery is a little bit more linear, and that's unfortunately going to be our lone manager, and that is it. But we'll have to see. There's also a lot of different moves that can be exploitable if you get the timing correctly, but it seems that Acton trying to go back to that same strategy, just trying to camp a corner, but the one thing about Jigglypuff, it's very similar to Sheik in a way that they just want to run you down. No space. Forward airs, still have the trap down, so able to at least get some quick damage for Afton. 20% difference in between these two, but struggling to land once again. There we get them back from Legend, and up smash will actually confirm Afton was down early in that first stock, but is able to claim the first life.
Yeah, see, that part, that always confuses me there. So he got that because the essentially stamina meter was too low there.
Yeah, that up smash was the confirmation of the elimination because the percentage was too high, so you're definitely going to be confirmed. I believe that up smash for Isabel is the highest knockback. It could also be her up smash. I'm not too sure what that data looks like, but confirms the elimination nonetheless. Up smash is always going to be a good option for you, no matter the character that you are playing. But that's what I'm talking about. Just keeping them trapped all the way at the end of the ledge. I mean, if you're up, you're able to at least get that trade for the first stock, but throwing out a pot, jump up there, and then able to at least confirm with a graceful falling forward air. Confirm that second stock, and now the Puff is definitely reeling after getting some bonus damage here as the second stock is extended. No more.
So back to even. Do those traps that Isabel lays, do they stay for as long as they are not triggered?
Every single time they you reset your stock, they get wiped away when it's still active.
The double block.
Sitting on trap up. Seems like Kato wants to go to the opposite side here.
Tight. Oh. Until that.
Just big damage. The falling
Jeez.
fishing rod almost able to get the confirmation of the elimination. Fair just for a little bit extra damage. And now this Puff is in dangerous territory. Trying to fall pound, not gonna work. Run up the shield, barely able to keep the space. Afton hasn't taken damage in a long time, finally breaks that curse, but in the meantime, this Puff was up to 142%.
Oh, the
not
snipe.
out yet. Chasing off stage. This is what got the second suck.
Oh.
Balloons burst, but able to dodge the damage, trying to set a trap. But esports was right there, but the falling forward air will get the confirmation. Too much damage accrued there at the end, but Acton definitely feeling the sweat off of that game number one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a better gauge there on the damage stuff, because it looks like when it's, you know, at 120%, sometimes it seems like they're getting hit by certain things and it's not sending them, and sometimes it does. I assume it's the type of move that they're hitting
Correct.
with, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain moves that have more knockback. There are certain moves that have less knockback naturally. But then there's also sweet and sour spots that come with like every single move as well. Like you could be hit with like a delayed timing for a move, and you won't get hit with as much damage percentage, and you also won't get hit as far because you got hit with the sour spot. If you get like the perfect connection off of like Jigglypuff's back air, for example, you'll get all of the knockback, which is pretty far, and then you also get like max damage as well for hitting the sweet spots. Like a game within its own self, like when you are playing Super Smash Brothers, to be able to get that sweet spot. It's most important for sorties, but also quite indicative for a lot of brawlers like Fox, or also like for Sheik. Same thing could be said for Isabel, and Jigglypuff desperately needs it at all times. That's where her entire moveset is. But
Gotcha.
So game number one, we'll be going over towards Sun Valley, who will finally taste victory after Palisades just ran through and stomped everybody. So we'll move over towards Pokemon Stadium 2 for the last time today to see if Kato will be able to extend this series to a final destination map number 3, or if Sun Valley will just take the 2-0 and they 1-1 start for week 1.
3, 2, 1.
Trying to figure out if I like Jigglypuff better or if I like Isabel better.
I like Isabel for the game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I grew up playing Pokemon, but I don't know if I was going to get into Pokemon without Animal Crossing. This woman saw a lot of me.
Yeah.
This dog was my life.
Surprisingly, I've never played Animal Crossing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did a lot.
I played the crap out of Pokemon though, so that's kind of why I'm leaning towards Jigglypuff, I think.
That's understandable. I also sit here and say, like, I play a lot of Pokemon games, and it seems that the Pokemon is Angie. As we know, Jigglypuff typically does get.
You don't like her when she's angry.
Singing lullaby and with a sharp point in your face. It's a lot of it. Not saying that I've tried. First stock already taken. Afton taking a lot of good damage. Nice falling air coming through for this Puff out of Caddy Esports. And that's one thing that I was going to suggest is that you need to try to exploit. That sets up so many good follow-ups, but struggling to try to get back towards the ground. Finally able to create some separation. Good couple of dares coming through, but Afton's fares have been on point. The snipes last game were heroic to say the least, but he needs to find this first stock off of this Caddy Esports chicken talking.
Yeah, looks like he's getting close. Oh, getting out for that though.
Trying to you have like the massive part from that up smash when it starts and as it extends up from the ground, but able to exploit the invincibility. Back air falling. I don't give a hoot about your balloons. I would just kick that out immediately.
Coming out hot.
And again, like, it's a sneaky character. You would never expect this character to still be good. We would have, like, historic Jigglypuff players back in Melee from Hungry Box, still very good at playing Jigglypuff. He competed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate underneath this character as well, and you can be so annoying with how bloated this dang character can be. Seeing Afton struggling with all of that angerness off of that game number 1. It's a whole stock lead so far, but Afton doing a fantastic job of just keeping this Jigglypuff away from the stage, resetting neutral once again, back airing the arrow away, dive and dash attack will finally come through. Will send Afton off the stage, but doesn't elect to go for the chase. Again, on a nice edge for Afton on this final stock. The backer will confirm. We go to game 3.
Undefeated, except against Palisades.
In the first stage of the series as well.
I just mean Jigglypuff in general, you know.
Oh, true. Okay.
Maybe my favorite Pokemon.
You know, I don't actually like. I mean, I haven't seen every single episode of Pokemon because there's a lot of episodes. But like,
yeah.
I don't really think how many like Jigglypuff battles. You know, like the main character Jigglypuff that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know how many matches that Jigglypuff actually got into. I had a Jigglypuff and a Wigglytuff back when I played a lot because it's a normal fairy Pokemon. The moves are so effective against so many other ones. But
yeah.
I'm not trying to, you know, degrade the entire conversation. All I'm saying is that Jigglypuff is a very good Pokemon. Give her a chance. So, series will be extended towards that final destination, which, you know, the entire discussion about like the platforms now being taken away for Final Destination might honestly benefit the Isabelle, just not being able to dodge around all the platforms. You saw the exploiting coming through Pokemon Stadium 2 Battlefield from the Jigglypuff, being able to fast fall away from the ledges and then trying to time the back airs to be able to create more separation. You don't get that with Final Destination. You're going to have just a very flat ground, so there's going to be a lot of empty hopping, I can only imagine. But I think Sun Valley does have a very good chance to be able to take the series. Only time will tell. The game should be starting here soon.
Yep, curious if we go back to Jigglypuffs again.
Yeah, no character swaps.
Oh, we don't have character swaps.
No. Well, you can. You can swap characters in between, like when you're changing stages. You are allowed to change characters. You just can't change players. So, as you saw from the Rob swap back with Crown back in Palisades, started off playing Rob and then played Sheik the rest of the
This I have not seen stage before.
Oh, it's the Final Destination. It's a classic. This, when we get, if you get the regionals and you get the states, when we start doing stage striking, there's a reason why this one isn't picked too much. It's because a lot of people enjoy playing 3D characters. It's very difficult to get back to the stage without the security of the platform. You're almost always forced to recover low. You saw all the coverage coming through from the Jigglypuff out of Caddy Esports. Able to get that first stock, 69%. He's got the plot armor, and he's currently maintaining center stage.
Got a lot of stamina down though, so he's getting towards that range where, I guess it doesn't matter. This.
Yeah, that's shenanigans right there. One back air can lead into another one if you continue to hold all the way out. Rod, throw up the top. Not going to confirm it. Again, Final Destination isn't exactly a big stage. It's not a small stage, but it's a bonus stage, so going to need a little bit more damage onto that Jigglypuff before that up throw will confirm the elimination. That shield was just about the size of a Skittle, but finally able to create some separation. Fishing Rod goes for the back throw, sets up a trap. Again, just cannot get this first stock. This is a speed run. We've only been in this match for just over a minute 30, chasing off the stage. Just
That's
keeping
frustrating.
everybody at an arm's reach. One more back air, try to get back. You have balloons, just gets to the invincibility. But 97%, finally the big butterfly net back throw will confirm the elimination, but you are down horrendous if you are Sun Valley.
Yeah, that was a huge clutch fight. Is that what they call them? Clutch fights.
Yeah, little edge fight. Trying to get back. Yep, hold there. Not enough damage to send Petty Esports all the way down. Up tilt. Up fair, but falling back there because why the heck not? We'll confirm that final stock again. I thought that series was going to be done in about 2 minutes, but talk about a massive moment coming through for Caddy Esports. They will start off their entire week 1-1 off of a reverse sweep here versus Sun Valley.
Yep, that was a sweet match to watch. Got some Jigglypuff knowledge now. I'll take that back to the sticks if I ever get on them.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few Jigglypuffs that we actually have in the entire state of North Carolina.
Oh.
I was able to see quite a few as the matches were happening, but it's one of those things that you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going
sure.
to become very overwhelmed. There's spreadsheets to show you, and I know how much you love data. I know how much you love sheets. But with all that said, we do at least have a leaderboard for you all to at least talk about where every single team is currently located at, as that was the series conclusion for CMS when it comes down to Super Smash Brothers within its own self. As it typically starts, again, you do have teams that were playing 2 best-of-3s. Some did start off undefeated. Some were 1-1, but tough to say that some teams are probably starting off 0-2.
Yep, unfortunate. But again, first week, so plenty of time to recover. So what are we looking at here? We got Lincolnton A at number 1. It's like, okay, so we got a bunch of people at 2-0. Let's see, who all do we got here from my side? We got Ardrey Kell, we got JT Williams. Seen a lot of my guys, Andy.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, there's still plenty of season left. There's Kata down there. Got at least that going for myself.
Yeah,
that's
Kata B.
Yeah, we had Kata A being played right there. So, hey, you never really know. Again, there's so many more schools. There's so many dang teams. Again, because Super Smash Brothers is a 1v1 game, I'm sure everybody's seeing a lot of the A's. They're seeing a lot of the B's. There are a lot of schools that do have 2 teams. So I think it's one of those things that because there's so many more series to be played, it's just week number 1, and there's so many different people for you to be able to learn from all the pro coaching VODs as well. States is not exactly a skip away, so very interested to be able to see where everybody does end up as the season continues, as we do have at least a schedule for you all to be following as we continue on with these broadcasts every single day. Today's Wednesday, by the way, and then we will end up having all of our Rocket League matches being played tomorrow on that Thursday, and then you'll always see me and Eli back for those weekly recaps on Fridays. And as I was talking at the top of the show, we did have our college football and Overwatch 2 just being played yesterday. Lots of more competition to have for yourself. But that at least does it for today for all the Super Smash Brothers for the CMS region. Everything has been updated. Leaderboards are all over the place. You definitely want to get along with your mentors. Make sure you're watching those coaching videos because we want to see how high your ceiling does go. But on behalf of everybody involved, it's been a fantastic day of some competition. We'll see you back for week number 2.